All right, so the next team that we are going to talk about is the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Bucks are the team that is probably entering this trade deadline with the most desperation to get a deal done. We all know the situation in Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokoumpo coming up on the final year of his contract. And even though Giannis has said that he will never demand a trade out of Milwaukee, the reality is if he does not sign a contract extension next summer, he will be in his walk year, and no team in the recent history of teams has allowed a player of that caliber to go into his walk year with the uncertainty that they may lose him for nothing. So the Bucks would be forced to do a Giannis deal next summer if they can't get him to agree to an extension. So the only way to get him to agree to an extension is to make a big move for the deadline that positions them better to make a run in the Eastern Conference. So how do they do that? The Bucks do not have a ton of assets. They do have some, so the cupboard isn't bare in Milwaukee. The most attractive contracts that they have to offer begins with Kyle Kuzma, who has got a year left in his contract at right around $20 million. They've got Bobby Portis, who also has a year left in his deal at $15 million. He's got a player option the year after that as well at around $15 million, a very reasonable number in today's NBA. Milwaukee could also deal a 2031 first-round pick, which is a very valuable asset. And the players I mentioned, the Bobby Portis shooting 47% from three-point range this season. That's a great number. And Kyle Kuzma shooting in the low 30s from three-point range, a versatile wing who could contribute to a team that's out there or just be a piece that they need down the line. So can they make a deal that upgrades the roster? Now, when I've talked to rival executives, a couple of things they've said to me. One is the Bucks are not looking to deal Giannis at all. Like anytime those Giannis conversations start, they invariably end very quickly. The Bucks are determined to hold on to Giannis through the deadline to make one more push with this team to see if they can convince Giannis to want to be there in the long term. They are on the lookout for a lot of different pieces. When I say they've been canvassing the league, that's exactly what they've been doing. And most of their canvassing has been looking at players at the wing position, whether it's small forward, guards. Their backcourt right now has been okay. Ryan Rollins, one of the most improved players in the NBA this season. Kevin Porter Jr. has contributed, but this Bucks team knows that if they're going to make an upgrade, it's got to be in the backcourt. They've got the bigs, Giannis, Miles Turner. Now they need the guards that can make something happen there. So some of the guys that they've been looking at, Zach LaVine in Sacramento. That's a player that John Horst, the GM in Milwaukee, has looked at in the past. LaVine, dynamic offensive player, great off the ball. He's a scorer. That's someone that Milwaukee certainly could see as being a positive fit opposite Giannis. Jeremy Grant in Portland, versatile, two-way player, plays more of a wing position, but he's been proven on some pretty good teams in the past. That's someone that they're keeping their eye on. And the wild card to Milwaukee's trade deadline search is Ja Morant. Ja Morant is out there, expected to be traded by Memphis before the deadline. Ja is not a round peg, round hole type of fit in Milwaukee. We've seen what's happened with the Bucks in the past when they've had a talented small guard. They had Damian Lillard there for a couple of years. A lot of reasons why they didn't go very far, but they didn't advance past the first round in the years that Lillard was in Milwaukee. Ja Morant, a similar small guard, a lot less reliable than Lillard, a fraction of the shooter that Lillard is, but the Bucks, they're kind of in a position where they've got to take a big swing if it's available to them. And if they can find a way to do a deal that makes sense to them and to Memphis that brings them Ja Morant, that's someone I keep my eye on as well. But the bottom line is I expect Milwaukee to be very aggressive over these next few weeks leading into the February 5th trade deadline. There is a sense of desperation. There is a sense of need. The Bucks have made a lot of trades over the last 5 years. One of them, few of them, brought them a championship back in 2021. So they're not afraid to take big swings, and they've proven they're capable of getting creative to do a big move. I would expect them to try once again before this deadline and see if they can pull one more rabbit out of their hat and get Giannis convinced to be on board with this team for the final chapter of his career.